Hi guys, welcome back to yet again another episode of Dicking Around. Nope, I can't do because I'm trying to hide stuff so I don't spoil it for you. So after the intro, we'll explain what we're doing. The motorcycle is yet again apart, and back to me. Yeah, I fucked up. All right. There's controversy on this, and after doing some research and watching some more YouTube videos and some people that actually do this stuff for a living, and I trust their word even though they're on YouTube. And one of those guys is Steve from Sick Baggers, a big YouTube channel, always doing something. And I knew better. When I had to buck apart and polish the forks, I had the axle and wheel spacer out because I had the front tire off. Well, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but if you look, there are grooves right here, and if you look closely here, there's a bevel or a taper. So some people say no, but after referring to the Harley manual and referring back to Steve's video and some of my past videos, the lines on that spacer, when that spacer goes in, needs to go like this, right here. They need to be to the outside. I screwed up, and I put it in that way. Some of you guys are thinking, no big deal, it's just a spacer. Nope, let's watch this. Here's my axle. Right? There's the spacer. In theory, that spacer should fall on that axle. Guess what? It won't. See? Won't go on. In theory, it should go on the axle this way. But it won't. You know why? I'll show you why. Because when I put it on backwards, I ended up, when I tightened it up, creating a taper or bevel on that side, which should not be there. Should not be there. It should only be on one side. It should be on your bearing side. So, oh, you guys are probably wondering why we have the tires and wheels off yet again. So, that's my screw up. I have an axle on the way. They're not that expensive, surprisingly. I have an axle, new nut, and new spacers on the way. And I also ordered new front wheel bearings, which I may not get in just yet. It doesn't need them, but new front wheel bearings and the new spacer cone that goes inside. But I have a trip coming up, camping trip coming up here in a couple of weeks, and you guys will see that. But I gotta get it back together, and I'm not going to change wheel bearings out without changing that spacer, and the spacer may not be here in time. But we had to change tires before we go on this trip, so let's take a look at the old tires. Now, some of you guys know, watch the channel, I've been running Dunlop American Elites, and I have had good success and good luck with them. If you look right here, we're down to the wear bar, and everywhere else is, I think this tread's like 230 seconds, this tread's 330 seconds, 2, 3, 2, 3. Well, when we go on a trip, if it rains, that tire's going to be a little slippery. If I was just running around local, I wouldn't have pulled that tire. I'd have left it run through the winter if I didn't have any trips coming up. So that's the rear tire, right? Let's go grab the front tire. I ran balance beads, as you can see. They're still in there. And let me get a flashlight. Hold on. there's controversy about this too, so let's just go ahead and clear it up. Some people say that the balance beads will tear up the inside of the tire. Well, let's look around there. I don't see anything tore up in there. And I don't think you guys do either. There's the bag. Right? Yep, there's the bag. And there's the beads. The beads worked great. They really did. I enjoyed them. I didn't have to take it and have the tires balanced. It was just stick the beads in and you're done. And I never experienced a vibration, wobble, or anything at all. So that's the rear tire. Let's grab the front tire. Alright, so front tire, a little more consistent wear, but it is roughly 330 seconds all the way across. But I wasn't going to change one and not change the other. So as you can see, balance beads in that tire as well, right there. And if you go around, no damage at all to the inside of the tire. None at all. So, do the balance beads work? Yes, they do. I never had any type of vibration. Mileage wise, both these tires, 16,000 miles on them. Remember that, okay? Now, the reason why I changed both tires and didn't leave the front tire on, because the front tire is actually still pretty good and not cupped out real bad, is because I'm trying a different brand. So, you guys ready to see what we're trying? And I'm not going to give this one away in the title or thumbnail if I even make a thumbnail. You guys are going to have to watch the video to find out what we went with. Can you tell me? Take a guess. Look at that tread and tell me. Alright. Here we go. Michelin Commander 3s. So, here's the deal. I was looking around for tires. And we're going to do a... I know it's not fair because one tire's wore out and the other one's not. Right? But we're going to do a side-by-side comparison as best we can here in just a second. But when I was shopping for tires, last time doing the tires myself, buying them, mounting them, using the balance beads, and mounting them up myself, it cost me like $700. Okay, so I got to looking around and I was looking for something cheaper. Believe it or not, I was able to get the Commander 3s for $550. Right? I didn't buy the balance beads. Well, we'll get into that later on. But anyhow, I went with the Commander 3s because I was able to get the set for $550 with no balance beads. With balance beads, it'd have been about $600. So I saved $100. Now, on the Dunlop American Elite, on the front, I was running the thin white wall. Why? I liked it. One got put on because that's all they had at one point in time when I had a bad one and they changed it under warranty. And I got good feedback on it and good comments where everybody said, that looks really good on there. So the downside to switching is I can't get the white wall, the thin white wall. Michelin doesn't offer it. So Michelin, if you are watching, make a touring Commander 3. That's another thing is, if you're ordering tires, they have the touring style, which is supposed to get longer life. supposedly, I don't know the facts on it, but supposedly, real world test, not track test, 24,000 miles out of a set of Commander 3s. I can tell you that this tire, it appears to me to have a little rounder profile, new, than the American Elite does. I will say that. But the other thing, we'll go ahead and compare. And I know it's not fair because the American Elites wore out. But let's just check out tread patterns, right? And yeah, we're going the same way. So, tread patterns. The Commander 3 is kind of more just kind of like straight up. Not much in the center, right? So, the American Elite comes up and this kind of like crosses over. So, you have, in my opinion, a little more room for water diversion there, right? That's on the rear tire. But kind of similar. This is a little more straighter. It doesn't have that S to it like this does. This is just kind of like a gradual curve and straightens off, right? But they seem to be pretty deep. Good rubber. And another reason why I switched to Michelin is because we have Michelin tires on the shop truck at work. And oh my god, are those tires sticky. So I wanted something with some grip. And please, folks, don't confuse the grooves with grip. The only thing these grooves on any tire do is allow debris and water and stuff like that to escape. Even on vehicles, even on cars, pickup trucks, semi-trucks, that's all it is. The rubber surface, it's all tread, it's all traction. You know what I mean? It'll grip. The rubber will grip the road. So now, let's go over and compare the front tire. And don't pay attention to the fancy thingy-majigger. We're going to spoil something a little bit here that I really don't care to, but we're going to. So, here's the front Commander 3 Touring, right? Now, see how tight you are? Nice and tight, nice and tight, nice and tight. They overlap, they overlap, they overlap, 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 overlap. And they're tight, they're close together. The American Elite, great tire. The American Elite, a little more gap. Short, long, same as the Commander 3. You have a short, you have a long. But they're similar. Very, very similar. I would say looking at it here, center of the tire versus center of the tire, it doesn't go all the way to the center. And that's about the only difference. But the gap, the spacing here seems to be tighter. So it looks like they'll divert water pretty good. And as far as tread wise, looks like a pretty cool tread. So we went with Commander 3s. We are going to get them on the bike, which you guys don't need to see that because I've already showed you guys how to do that. And then stay tuned because we'll be going on a trip soon and we'll be taking the camper. I know the reason why we're changing tires, but we'll be taking the camper. We're going on a camping trip. So stay tuned for all that fun stuff. And then, oh yeah, the little thing there. Stay tuned for next week's episode of Dicking Around the Garage. That thing right there? Yeah. On next week's episode of Dicking Around the Garage, I'll be wearing the same clothes, of course, but we're going to show you what we're doing there. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're going to want to watch. So, yeah, that's it. We got the tires mounted up. Wasn't able to use the tire machine that I normally use. I have a buddy who has one of the Rabiconda hand things. And I think in the future I may invest in one of those, especially with... Stay tuned for next week. Alright, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.